In an era of this ongoing technology, it's very easy to think that what makes a beautiful woman and a good woman is what she has on the external. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's the reason as to why you can look at a girl and say she's a woman of virtue. I will borrow Maya Monroe's teaching. Women are naturally incubators, so whatever it is that you give to us is what we multiply. So if you give me a word, I'll give you a sentence. If you give me a sentence, I'll give you a paragraph. And when you give me a paragraph, I'll basically give you a book. Now that's who a woman is. So whatever it is that she has within her is what comes out. And women, I want us to be careful when we indulge in certain things like gossip, the things we watch, the things that we listen to. All these things are what we incubate. And at the end of the day, you end up being with a man who will never understand why you keep on lashing out on him, why you keep on asking for certain things, because of the fact that you keep on listening to other people's stories. And slow but sure, you start to perceive this as what it is that you should get. Something you could pick from Proverbs 31 that defines a woman fully, and that's a good woman. Now, if we learn to stop being monsters, and a monster is simply a creature with two heads. One side you're different, one side you're nice and all sweet and caring and everything, and the other side you're so judgmental and you're always pointing fingers at your man, then where is the same person in this? Because that's a total difference. And I trust that women are multipliers, so we are supposed to multiply peace. We are supposed to multiply the positive and remove the negative, because that's our role in this world. That's why it's very easy for a woman to feel sympathy for a young child, to feel sympathy for someone who is in pain, because we are naturally lovers, we are naturally feelers. So a beautiful woman is a bonus, because if she's beautiful, but without good behavior, but without respect for her husband and community, a woman that cannot take care of herself and her family, then the beauty is all to waste. Because all this that we call beauty is all vanity actually. A good woman does not irritate her husband, but instead she goes further to find out what his vision is for life. Therefore, when she asks him, honey, what's your vision 10 years from now? Where do you see us going? How do you see us bringing up our family? What new things can we do? What new businesses can we indulge in? Now that's a good woman. She thinks, she multiplies, she comes with a lot of courage. So it's advised that when a man is going to get a woman in his life, he better be sure of what he's taking on. And he better be prepared for it. Because a woman will not make any change to someone who has not made a plan. Because that's only unrealistic. How can I multiply what does not even exist? Because we are naturally helpers, that's who we were meant to be, right from the days of Adam and Eve. So a woman is not going to come to change a man's life in the direction that's going to bring him down. She's supposed to magnify him. She's supposed to grow him in every way possible. And a good woman also listens to her husband, listens to her partner, listens to her parents. Because when you're single, what you are is what you will reflect when you're actually married. Actually, women are receivers. But on the other hand, we should not take this to the level whereby we are not willing to work, but willing to receive. Let us tell ourselves that I want to be that mother. I want to be that role model for the people in the future. We know that we can do so much because a woman can bear so much, right from the fact that we can bear pain of giving birth to all the issues that we face. A good woman is not one who tears down a life. A good woman is a builder. A good woman is a multiplier. Therefore, if we are going to be good women, let us not be those people that find a man doing something constructive, and because you've come into his life, you start imposing, you diminish his visions, you make him look like he's nothing, you start comparing him to all the men in your past. That's not who a good woman is. A good woman pats her husband, or her fiancé, or her boyfriend on the back and tells him, you know what, sweetheart, everything will be okay. And guess what? Women, we don't forget, we are very good saving boxers. Because you will tell a woman something and she'll remind you at the time when you have forgotten. So men, be careful when you're telling certain things to women, because we are precious, we are fragile. So once you tell her something and you're not sure you mean it, then better not tell her anything. And then, because at that point in time, she'll be able to tell you exactly what you told her at the same date and time that you told her. So as we get these good women, let us make sure that we are ready for them. Let us make sure that we know who they are before we actually judge by looks that this is a good woman. And I trust that each and every one of us has got the capability to be that woman that will inspire the future generation to become better, irrespective of the fact that everyone is saying this is a very dead generation. I trust that we can make that change. I trust that we can be the different people that society needs, because women are naturally multipliers, like I said. So if you're only multiplying bad fruit, then what do you expect for the future? I know that we all have the capability to look deep within our hearts and make a decision to be better women, women that fight for our countries, women that fight for our rights, but also respect the men. Because without a man, a woman will not be, and the reverse is true. So women, let us be watchful of the kind of company that we keep. I insist on this because the company that we keep determines who we are. And eventually, whatever it is that they do keeps rubbing off on us. If it's negative, it will obviously bring negative results. And if it's positive, it will bring positive results. And also, when we indulge in certain things like gossip, if we're to be in fellowship of people that are doing some of these things, even when you claim that you don't do certain things, trust me, you're no different. Women, I trust that we are decision makers. Do watch out for who a good woman is in part 2, and feel free to check on my YouTube channel, that's Tesh Chuanuka.